Some songs do more than play. They stay with you.
Who do you think you are? The big stuff.
They follow you through breakups, long drives, empty apartments,
You are now. Tell me it's the big stuff.
family cookouts, and nights when the world feels heavier than usual.
I think I'm going.
One line can bring back a person.
Do it.
One chorus can bring back a version of yourself you forgot was still there. This is the 5 Soul Rewind. And tonight we are counting down 5 R&B soul records that never faded away. Songs filled with heartbreak, confidence, truth, and hope. Songs that shaped the sound of hip-hop long before hip-hop even existed. And trust me, the closer we get to number 1, the deeper this list is going to hit. Number 5, Mr. Big Stuff, Gene Knight. You can hear the confidence before Gene Knight even says a word. Mr. Big Stuff doesn't rush. It struts. The drums stay loose. The bass line rolls with swagger, and the guitars stay clipped and sharp like somebody smirking from across the room. Then Gene Knight steps into the middle of it all with a voice that sounds amused, unimpressed, and completely in control. That is what made this record different. She is not begging for attention. She is not asking for love. She is not trying to be understood. She is calling somebody out calmly and directly, and somehow making it sound fun. That famous line, "Who do you think you are?" became bigger than the song itself. It turned into a phrase people used in everyday life. That is when you know a record has crossed over into culture. Years later, hip-hop would take that exact energy and build entire personalities around it. The self-confidence, the attitude, the refusal to be impressed. Gene Knight helped create that blueprint long before rap artists turned it into a lifestyle.
Tell me, who do you think you are?
And even now, decades later, Mr. Big Stuff still sounds fresh because confidence never goes out of style. Number 4, Express Yourself, Charles Wright
What you doing is what you doing when you're doing.
and the Watts 103rd Street Rhythm Band. Some songs entertain you.
Kangaroo. Let the
This one challenges you. Charles Wright created something bigger than a groove.
everything don't mean a thing. If it ain't the thing you want.
With Express Yourself. On the surface, it sounds loose and joyful. The bass walks easy, the horns feel bright, and the rhythm bounces like a summer afternoon in the neighborhood. But underneath all of that
What you look like you're doing, express yourself.
is a message that still matters now just as much as it did back then.
Going to the do they do, y'all.
Be yourself. Say what you feel. Stop worrying about what other people think.
Express yourself.
That sounds simple, but in 1970, that message carried real weight. America was changing. Black identity was changing.
You do.
Music was changing. And this song became part of that movement. It told people they did not have to hide who they were. That is why the record lived far beyond its original release. Later, hip-hop picked it up and gave it a second life. Most famously, NWA used the song as the foundation for their own version, proving that its message could survive across generations. Express Yourself is not just catchy. It is freedom in musical form. Number 3. In the Rain, The Dramatics. There are heartbreak songs, and then there is In the Rain. The Dramatics made a record that feels less like music and more like a memory you never fully got over. Everything about it feels cinematic. The rain effects, the soft strings, the lonely guitar. The lead vocal sounds like someone trying to stay composed while quietly falling apart inside. That is what makes the song so powerful. It never becomes dramatic. It never shouts. It just stays honest. The lyrics use rain as a cover for pain. A place where nobody can see tears. A place where heartbreak can hide itself in public. That idea hit people deeply because it felt real. Everyone has had a moment where they wanted to disappear into bad weather and not explain what they were feeling. And that emotional honesty is exactly why hip-hop later borrowed so much from songs like this. Rappers learned that you do not always have to be loud to say something powerful. Sometimes the quietest pain hits the hardest. In the Rain became timeless because it gave sadness dignity. Number 2, Don't Let the Green Grass Fool You, Wilson Pickett. Wilson Pickett had one of the roughest, grittiest voices in soul music. When he sang, it sounded like he had lived every word. That is exactly why Don't Let the Green Grass Fool You works so well. The song is not just a groove. It is advice. It is Wilson Pickett telling you not to get distracted by appearances. Not to believe everything that looks good from the outside. The band keeps things warm and relaxed. The drums move easy. The keys stay smooth. But Wilson's voice rides over all of it with that
I may not live to see a brand new day.
famous edge, like somebody pulling you aside before you make a mistake. What makes the record special is that it never feels preachy. He is not lecturing you. He is smiling while he says it. That charm is what keeps the message from feeling heavy. Hip-hop later took that same approach. Street knowledge mixed with personality. Truth delivered with rhythm. That is why this song still works decades later.
Come on,
Because no matter how much time passes, people still fall for the surface. And somebody always has to remind them to look deeper.
Things are gonna get easier.
Number 1, Oh Child, the 5 Stairsteps.
Ooh, child, things are gonna be easier.
Some songs become hits, some become memories. But Oh Child became something even bigger. The 5 Stairsteps created a record that feels like comfort in human form.
Ooh, child, things are gonna get.
The song does not rush. It does not try to overwhelm you.
Ooh, child, things will get brighter.
It just slowly wraps around you. The rhythm sways gently.
Ooh, child, things will be brighter.
The harmonies feel soft and warm. And then comes that line. Things are gonna get easier. That is one of the most powerful promises ever put into music.
Ooh, child,
Because of how simple it is. There is no complicated poetry.
someday, yeah.
No dramatic production. No giant vocal performance.
Ooh, child.
Just a group of voices singing something people desperately wanted to believe. And when you hear it, you do believe it. That is why the song lasted. It became bigger than its era, bigger than the charts, bigger than soul music itself. People play, Oh Child,
Put it together and we'll get it undone.
when they are grieving, when they're struggling, when they need hope.
Things are gonna be easier.
Hip-hop has sampled the song. Movies have used it. Entire generations have passed it down. But none of that changes the real reason it matters. It matters because for 3 minutes, it makes people feel less alone. These songs lasted because they were honest. They did not hide heartbreak. They did not hide struggle. And they never pretended life was easier than it really was. That is why people still come back to them decades later.
Do it good.
Now, I want to know which one hit you the hardest. Which song stayed with you the longest?
Press yourself.
Drop your top 3 in the comments. And if you love soul music, storytelling, and the history behind the records that shaped everything we hear today, subscribe to the 5 Soul Rewind. Because the next story might not just remind you of the past.
Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier.
It might change how you hear it forever.